Good morning. My name is Graham Milner. I use he, him pronouns, and I have the pleasure of being your worship associate this morning. Today's service is special. We are honoring members of our youth group who are bridging into adulthood. I have known Jonah and Eli my entire life, as I have been in the religious education program with them since I was born. If you're visiting us for the first time, welcome. Please be sure to fill out the online connection card with your address so you can receive a special welcome form from us. A link to this connection card should pop up in the chat shortly. The connection card is one of the ways you can express your interest in getting involved, seek support, or stay in touch. We also invite you to visit our website to learn more about us. You're invited to participate in the many events and activities we have on our online calendar. Let us now take a moment to acknowledge the fact that All Souls has been built on stolen lands. May we acknowledge the people who first care for these lands and the suffering of the enslaved people who built the city we call Washington, D.C. Now is our time to greet one another. We invite you to go to Gallery View, turn your video on, and give everyone a wave. And now let us turn and greet each other.
Should I come up there?
full and I am running out. I have flooding river and I'm living through the drought. I have firm conviction and my heart is full of doubt. We will carry each other on the way. My courage is your courage when the journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. We will carry each other on the way. There are people I have never met. There is something special and I haven't found it yet. There's abundance given, freely taken with no debt. We will carry each other on the way. My courage is your courage. The journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. Carry each other on the way. My courage is your courage. The journey is only getting longer. My strength is your strength. Carry each other on the We will carry each other on the way.
Good morning, all souls. Good morning. I am Reverend Anastasia, and I get to serve as one of your ministers. And I'm going to invite my young friends to come forward for a story this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, all souls, hit the floor. We're happy that you're here today. Hooray, hooray, hooray. Good morning, good morning. There's floor and there's also still some carpet. So who here, when we were just singing that song together, felt the power of the song? Did anyone feel more powerful when they were singing than before they were singing? Yeah, I felt that way. So the story that we're going to tell is about another song from South Africa that carried people in times of struggle when what was happening in their world and society was really difficult. And this song helped carry them into a time of greater freedom. And it's a song that you pretty much hear almost every week. Any guess what that is? Isaac, you nailed it. Siyahamba. That's right. Were other people thinking Siyahamba, but just didn't say it out loud? Yes. Right? It's good to feel confident sometimes in what we know. So this is Siyahamba, and we are going to sing it today. We're actually going to keep you here to sing it for the first part, because one of the things that I heard is that you really love the song and you miss singing it with the whole congregation. So we're going to have some congregational singing time of Siyahamba today. But I want to tell you the story behind the song. And also, we're going to not just sing the song, we want to embody it. So when we sing it later, I want us, when I say we are marching, I want you to show me your feet and go like, march, march. Can you march your feet even when you're singing? March, march. And when I say in the light, can you lift your hands, shine, shine? Yeah, because it's a dance, not just a song, right? We embody it with our whole being and our spirit. So let me tell you about where this song began. It started long ago in Zulu villages. And from those villages, Siyahamba rose up in churches and around fires and in the voices of the people, right? The voices in their chests and their throats as well as from their lips. And it was passed on by memory before it was ever written down. And because it passed from person to person and heart to heart and through song, leading into song, it was able to cross oceans. Choirs sang it, community sang it, and voices. Imagine all those voices joining with that message across the whole world. But its greatest power came in the 1980s when I was about your age. When in South Africa it was ruled by something called apartheid. And apartheid, what I was learning when I was your age, were these very strict laws in South Africa that separated people by race. And they were laws that stripped Black South Africans of their right to vote, to move freely, to choose their neighborhoods, who they can walk with in public, and overall, it stripped them of their ability to live with dignity in the eyes of their neighbors. In those years, Siyahamba became holy in a new way. It wasn't just about the joy of being with what you know to be ultimate, to be God or the ultimate of the community. It became a song of freedom. And people sang it not just in churches, but on streets and in rallies and in their churches still. And that song, kind of like the song that we were just singing, gave them courage and strength. It said, the light of justice could not be put out. Notice what that strength sounded like. It wasn't just defiance. It was joy. It was delight. It was claiming the power in the life of people. And it's a reminder that resistance can be singing and dancing. As if you say, as you sing those songs and dance those steps, you cannot take everything from us. You cannot take my ability to sing and dance and have joy. So it was songs like Siyahamba that gave people strength until apartheid finally ended. But you know, this wasn't just a song about those in South Africa, or only for them, because the thread stretches even further back than the 1980s. Mahatma Gandhi, who here has heard of Mahatma Gandhi? Yeah, he is good to learn more about. Now, we often think about him as the person who helped India become free from the British Empire, but he too lived in South Africa, and he taught Satyagraha, truth force, the power of nonviolent resistance. And then Martin Luther King Jr., who here has heard of Martin Luther King Jr.? Yeah, really solid. See, Martin Luther King Jr., he studied Gandhi, and the civil rights movement here that brought more people and more freedom in our country was based on Gandhi's teachings. And people sang freedom songs like he did just a few weeks ago, "Ain't Gonna Let Nobody Turn Me Around." You know, Keith said hours after church ended, he heard people singing it as they were leaving, and I heard it for at least 4 consecutive days at home. You just can't get freedom songs out of your body and your spirit once you start singing. So, from Gandhi, Satyagraha, to Nelson Mandela's freedom for struggle, to Dr. King's beloved community, to us singing here as we're working to protect our neighbors when voting rights are being denied or people are scared in their neighborhoods. Everywhere people have marched and sung and danced and lifted up the call for freedom through song. And so it is our turn to continue to doing that work. with the freedom songs that we sing, and with Siyahamba. So I'm going to invite us to say these Zulu words with me. Siyahamba kukenyenkwenkos. Siyahamba kukenyenkwenkos. It means we are marching in the light of God. All right, beloveds, I want us to think about all the ancestors who have sung this song and all the good things they wanted for this world and how powerful they felt when they were together and singing together. And I'm going to invite us to rise to our feet, and we're going to sing Siyahamba kukenyenkwenkos all together. And then we are going to go to our RE classes. When we start singing in English, we are marching in the light of God. So let us sing that together.
Good morning, All Souls. My name is Susan Milner, and I'm one of your board co-vice presidents. And I am here to invite you to our annual congregational meeting. It will take place on Sunday, June 7th, following the service, both in person and online. This is an important opportunity for our church community to adopt the budget for the coming year, elect new trustees and officers, and consider other business items and bylaw amendments. All are welcome to observe, and eligible voting members may participate either in person or via Zoom, and lunch will be provided after the service and before the meeting. We encourage you to become an educated voter. You can review the annual meeting materials in advance and take part in preparation opportunities, including a motions workshop on May 20th, this Wednesday, and the Information Town Hall on May 27th. There's a deadline to submit resolutions and budget amendments, which is next Sunday, May 24th at 5 p.m. Those amendments, if you participate in the workshop, you'll find out how to prepare your motions and workshops for that deadline. Please check your email for full details, timelines, and meeting materials. We hope you'll join us for this important gathering in the life of our church.
Thank you so much, Susan, and for all that our Board of Trustees does for All Souls. I have a few quick announcements to share with you. First is that our Green Souls is reforming again after several years of a hiatus, and very apropos, it's meeting in the courtyard, which is directly behind this wall. It is meeting at noon, and that is intentional because they know that many other amazing opportunities start at 12:30, so they're designing the first half an hour to be sufficient for any interested people to come and learn what Green Souls is about, to add some input, and decide if you would be interested in moving forward. So if you could only come for half an hour, the first half an hour would be the right one to come to. And then out on the terrace, I want to lift up something really important that is happening, which is our Religious Education Teacher Appreciation Lunch. Our All Souls religious education teachers are amazing. They take our beautiful children they don't just take them, they hold them in trust and love and care. They show up for them and teach them what it means to be in community, what our UU values are, and how to find a resting place in which they are safe enough to authentically belong to themselves and to others. There is no words that I could say to express my gratitude enough for how we raise Unitarian Universalists and raise good people. But if we could give a rounding applause for them so they could hear us even downstairs. And if you're feeling underappreciated, maybe join as one of those RE teachers and know how we will appreciate you going forward. All right, one last announcement. Who here believes in the importance of voting? Who here believes our democracy is shaped by those who show up? Who here believes when our federal government is becoming more authoritarian, how necessary it is to have a mayor in DC who reflects our values? All right, then I know that a large number of you will be attending the DC Candidate Forum today from 3 to 5 at the Union Temple Baptist Church. This is our opportunity to make it clear to the candidates who are running for DC what our top priorities are, including homelessness, community care, public safety, healthy homes, public land use, and the protection of DC's budget and our right to statehood. I'll just say, in times like this, if there's anyone I believe in, it's the people of All Souls. Let us hold in our hearts all of those in our community, those who are here today, and those who are here in spirit. Let us particularly lift up Caroline Boston, mother to Tequina and Michonne, who is recuperating at home with the assistance of her daughters after spraining her ankle from a fall on Saturday night. She would appreciate cards, but no phone calls or visits at this time. I invite you to lift up now, out loud, in the chat, or in the sacred silence of your heart, those people, places, or causes that you brought with you here into this sanctuary today. Gracious, holy God, who appears in 10,000 forms, in no form, in the unity of all forms, speak again to us in this moment. From Isaiah, we hear you say, "Do not fear, I have called you by name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overwhelm you. And when you walk through fire, you will not be burned, and the flames shall not consume you." We hear you through the lives of our ancestors. The rivers and fires of life will come our way, not a question of if, but rather when they come. And in these mighty waters and fires, we are shaped and tempered to strength. We will be sharpened and refined for justice. We will need to find satyagraha, truth force, to guide us, to fuel our own light and fire our commitment. And we will need to foster community, solidarity, to form us collectively into a raft so together we can navigate the waters. In the heat and in the torrent, let us hear again those faithful words. Do not fear. I am with you. You are mine. Child, friend, spouse, parent, family, beloved, beloved, beloved. Know that I am with you. Know peace. And now come, let us continue our prayer through song. Let us sing Fuente d'Amor and Spirit of Life. Amen. It is my joy today to introduce to you my colleague, Reverend Abi Jamanchi, who has served as Senior Minister of Cedar Lane Unitarian Universalist Congregation since 2013. Before being called to Cedar Lane, he served Unitarian Universalist congregations in Florida, Wisconsin, and Illinois. A third-generation member of the Brahmo Samaj, he brings an interfaith and international perspective shaped by roots in India. He serves on the Executive Council of Religions for Peace USA and on the Advisory Board for Hindus for Human Rights, and is engaged in interfaith work and public witness in Washington, D.C. and the area. Let us warmly welcome him back to our pulpit.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is so good to be with you this morning and a joy to be back at All Souls. Thank you, Anastasia, for that invitation and for this warm, wonderful welcome. I just feel so good right now. All right. Wow. And thank you, choir. You were awesome this morning. My goodness, that was great. Got me going. So I want to begin with an ancient story about a river. The Yamuna River runs through northern India, the lifeblood of the people who depend on it. And in an old story, a great serpent named Kaliya has taken up residence in its depths, and the water has been poisoned. Fish rise to the surface, cattle come to drink and collapse along the banks. The villagers do what frightened people tend to do. They warn each other. They stay back. They organize their grief at a safe distance. But then Krishna wades in. He finds Kaliya coiled up in the darkness. And when that serpent rises to crush him, Krishna does something that no one expects. He dances. Right there in that poisoned river, on the heads of the serpent, he dances. Until the river clears, until the water runs clean again to sustain life. Now, I find myself coming back to that story, especially now, because a few miles from here, the Anacostia River is being poisoned right now. Oil sheens across the water near the old Washington Gas East station. Chemicals seep through the shoreline. Contaminants rise up from the riverbed through a process called ebullition, which almost sounds peaceful. But it's actually hazardous waste moving through the water day by day in a river that runs through communities that have borne decades of this and were never the ones making the decisions. 3,000 yards from the Capitol building, where the people who could act and do something have mostly chosen not to. Now, that is one river. And then there are all the other rivers we are living side by side or inside. Many of us are living next to poisoned waters right now, poisoned by cruelty, poisoned by greed, poisoned by hate, by a politics that tells us power belongs to the few and the pain belongs to the many. That only some people are worthy of safety and dignity and joy, and the agencies that are meant to protect the most vulnerable are being hollowed out. Children we have welcomed are being taken from schools, from homes, from the arms of the people who love them. Shame. You know, this past Monday, Bishop William Barber stood at Black Lives Matter Plaza That's right, Black Lives Matter Plaza. And he called it out, denying voting rights, denying health care, denying living wages, denying freedom from poverty, denying labor rights, denying the rights of indigenous people, denying the statehood of this city, denying the truth of climate change, denying gender rights, choosing war while calling it peace. He said this is not a political disagreement, it is policy violence. And it destroys lives, it tears at our shared humanity. And this very morning, right now, on the National Mall, Christian nationalists are holding an all-day event to rededicate America to God. Sponsored by this administration, claiming the blessing of heaven on all of it. That is a distortion of faith. It is a heresy that uses religion for power and domination. So, I want to talk about joy. And when I say I want to talk about joy, what I want to talk about this morning, I'm not talking about joy as an escape, joy as a distraction, as a denial, not silver linings, not gratitude journals. I'm talking about that kind of joy. There's nothing wrong with gratitude journals, folks. But that's not what I'm talking about this morning. I'm talking about the kind of joy that climbs down into the poisoned river and dances. Yeah. The kind that knows how bad things are and refuses to let that be the whole story. You see, in the Hindu tradition, joy is not an extra, a footnote. It is a fundamental truth of existence. Sat Chit Ananda. Truth, awareness, joy. Not three goals that we chase, but the very nature of what is real, the ground beneath everything. And in the Chandogya Upanishad, one of the oldest texts we have, there is a Sanskrit verse. Yavai bhuma tatsukham nalpe sukham asti bhumaiva sukham bhuma tveva vijignastavya iti. That which is infinite is joy. There is no joy in the finite. Only the infinite is joy, but one must desire to know the infinite. One must desire to know the infinite. And to know the infinite is to stay in relationship with the whole of things, the whole cloth of things, the beauty and the grief, the love and the loss, the dancing and the dying, because the infinite, you see, does not edit itself for our comfort. The invitation is not to turn away from what is hard, but to remain present to all of it. Because you see, friends, joy is not pleasure. Joy is not happiness. It is not the absence of sorrow. And Mary Oliver understood this. She writes, "Every day I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in the haystack of light. It was what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself in the soft world, to instruct myself over and over in joy and acclamation." Oof. And that word, instruct, is a practice, a discipline, not a feeling that washes over us when things are going well in life, but something we choose on purpose, especially when we are least inclined to. So joy is a daily decision to stay awake to the fullness of life, even when that fullness includes things that wreck us. In a time designed to make us numb, choosing to notice, choosing to feel is its own kind of resistance. And our stories remind us of that. You see, before Krishna even draws his first breath, his uncle, King Kamsa, has already ordered his death. Not because of anything Krishna has done, but because of who he might become. You see, because power, when it is afraid, goes after the small and the vulnerable first. It's always the same story. Moses placed in a basket and set on a river by a mother who had no other way. Krishna carried through the storm, his father stepping into a flooding river in the dark of night, holding the child above the current one step after another. Because love does not wait for the waters to recede. The children of Gaza know this story. The child separated from their family at our borders know this story. Power afraid of what it cannot control, and love refusing to let that be the ending. And what I find so extraordinary is what Krishna does with the life he has been given. He grows up. He plays, he dances, he steals butter and grins when he is caught. He gathers people in delight, not because the danger has disappeared, but because he refuses to let the threat be the whole story of his life. And that is the teaching. Not that the serpent was not real, not that the river was not poisoned, but that we wade into it anyway. And we dance. Because joy does not wait for better circumstances. There's another story that comes to mind in ancient Egypt. It was believed that when you die, you stand in a great hall before Osiris, the god of death and rebirth. And Osiris asks you questions, 42 of them. Did you harm the poor? Did you steal? Did you lie? Now, you cannot hide from the truth. And then, after all of that, Osiris has two last questions. Did you find joy? Did you bring joy? Not what did you accomplish? How many cars did you own? What big a house did you have? Not how much did you accumulate? Did you find joy? And did you bring joy? Now, if you could not answer yes, you would be taken away by a creature and eaten with the head of a crocodile, the foreparts of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. Just picture that. Which sounds like what it feels like to be consumed by our own unlived life. So joy is fulfilled in service. The poet Rabindranath Tagore put it in 3 lines. I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy. And yet, for many of us, Joy feels complicated right now, doesn't it? We feel guilty when we laugh, guilty when we rest, guilty when something in our life is going well while so many others are not. The outrage, it's exhausting. The vigilance is exhausting. And underneath it is this quiet fear that if we loosen our grip on grief and anger, even for a moment, we are betraying those who need us. The writer Anand Giridhar Das writes about this. It is tempting to think the opposite of authoritarianism is simply the opposite politics. He writes, a better platform, a sharper response. And then he says this, the best revenge against cruelty is to live well, fully, colorfully, in community, to embody what the bullies and the billionaires cannot imagine, a life of connection, of laughter, of belonging. Yeah. And that is what we are doing here. When they dehumanize, we humanize. When they divide, we gather. When they silence, we sing. Right, Keith? Yes, we do. When they drain our hope, we plant something. Make sure you pick up those plants that are out there. We laugh, we dance, not to escape the world, but to remake it, because joy is not separate from the struggle. Joy is what helps us survive it and what calls us back to each other again and again. The poet Ross Gay, author of the Book of Delights, asks a question that I keep returning to. How can we be not joyful, especially in a moment like this, he asks. And he calls joy a form of resistance that has nothing to do with ease and everything to do with the fact that we are all going to die. So he dares us to succumb to delight, which he believes is more dangerous than succumbing to resentment. Use your delight radar, he says. Exercise your delight muscle. He writes, joy is the moment when our sense of alienation from each other, from ourselves, from the whole thing goes away, dissolves. Everything becomes luminous. And I love that mycelium, the forest metaphor, that there is this thing connecting us, and among the things of that thing connecting us is that we have this foundational human experience, that we are not here forever. And that's a joining, a joining. Joy is what joins us, what roots us, what helps us remember that we are what we are fighting for, and it is not shallow joy. The grief we carry is not evidence that we cannot feel joy. It is evidence that we have loved something. Real joy does not ask us to put the sorrow down. It dances with it. And which is why I love this last story. Apparently, problems arose for some translators who were trying to render the Christian scriptures into the Inuit language, when they discovered that there was no actual word for joy in the Inuit language. And the passage that they were trying to translate described the disciples being filled with joy after they saw Jesus after the resurrection. And they could not find a suitable word that carried that meaning. So the translators looked to the Inuit life for something that did. And they found that one of the most joyful times in Inuit life was the evening feeding of the sled dogs. The barking and the yelping, the tails wagging so furiously that the whole body shakes, the children squealing with delight, and the neighbors and families coming out to join in the chaos and the communion. That is the joy ning. Consequently, the translators used that particular event to help convey the meaning of that aforementioned biblical text. As a result, when the passage was translated back into English, it read, "When the disciples saw Jesus, they wagged their tails." The Reverend Tom Owen Toole, who tells the story, says our earthly assignment is to bark and yelp wildly, gamboling and wagging our tails as furiously as possible so that our joy might prove catching, and all creatures might clap their hands and sing and dance and join in life's perpetual celebration. Not serene, not dignified, bounding and completely messy, unable to contain itself. That is what joy looks like when it is real. So today, let us remember Krishna's dance, not as some ancient myth, but as an embodied message, that when the river is poisoned, we step in. We dance, we restore what has been lost. And that is what All Souls is called to be in this moment. Not a community that comes together only to manage grief in careful, contained ways, but a community where joy is practiced, shared, made visible, where we come exhausted and frightened and leave having wagged our tails a little, having laughed at something we did not expect, and having felt that mycelium of belonging underneath our feet. So, dance like Krishna. Wag your tails. Howl at the moon. Woo! Live like people who cannot be broken, because we are not here to survive in gray. We are here to live in color. Tathastu, may it be so. Amen.
This week, we have no paper connection cards, and so we're inviting you to scan this QR code to access the connection card information and fill out the form. This week's question is, we do have paper connection cards this week. This week's question is, what would it mean for you to stop waiting for the river to be clean, for you to dance? As the music plays, you're invited to fill out your connection card online or in your paper. This month, we are sharing 50% of our non-pledge plate offerings with Beacon House. Located in Edgewood neighborhood of Northeast DC and founded in 1991 by Reverend Don Robinson, a UU minister affiliated with All Souls. Beacon House provides high-quality after-school education and youth development services to nearly 400 children annually. We encourage you to give generously to them, as well as to support the ongoing mission and ministries of All Souls.
be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets is my skin. We'll fire away. 'Cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting. We are warriors. And that's when we will. Won't let them bring me down to dust. I know that yes, when the sharpest words gonna cut me down. Let a sand of blood gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. This is me. The sharpest words gonna cut me down. Gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. This is me.
Beloveds. Beloveds. One of the most important things that we do is bless each other. And especially when we bless each other on the threshold of our lives, as we move from one place, one understanding of ourselves, to another understanding of ourselves. And today we honor the threshold of two of our youth as they move into adulthood. So I'm going to call Jonah and Eli up for this blessing. Y'all are centered in this. I'm going to give you, if you wish, just an opportunity to share your name with the congregation and anything you would like to share about growing up here at All Souls.
Yeah, sure. I'm Jonah. It's been a good experience, you know. You know, there's a lot of life lessons they teach you. It helps you grow and learn, and helps you get ready to be part of the community. So, yeah.
Hi. I'm Eli. I'm really grateful for the community that this church has provided. It was really nice growing up here, being able to come here every Sunday. Yeah.
strong startle reflexes. So I'll just say, there are going to be some surprises ahead as you move into adulthood. But I invite you now to sort of face each other, but put a hand on this quilt. So maybe this hand, yep. Like angle a little towards the congregation. This is like, I'm a theater director. But I invite you to look at this quilt, which has all these pieces that have been added onto that reflect the youth in our congregation, and hold the names of those who have bridged into adulthood before you. Your names have been added, and you have been stitched into All Souls' legacy. Maybe 2 hands. 2 hands? No, but one of them is on the quilt. You can let go of the quilt. You know. So we're going to bless you with these 4 elements. And the first one is water. I invite you to take a sip. When you're babes, we put a little water on your lips to hope that it will remind you to speak kind words. But this is a greater invitation, to recognize that there are things in life that you hold, that you will speak into being. May your words meet the deep drought of this world. May your being be a cargo ship, delivering what is needed to places of deprivation. May your beingness be the blessing. Yes. You may put that down. And here is dirt, earth, from our All Souls courtyard. I invite you to step onto it again and actually put some dirt on your hands and rub it in.
I'm rubbing it in, bro.
The word Adam in the Bible means to come from the dirt. You were formed in this place. You carry it with you everywhere you go. Know that it has formed you, and that is a gift. I'm going to give you each these plants, which is an old world tradition. These native plants that were planted by someone in this congregation. And they are a particular plant that supposedly grows and blossoms wildly in the summer. May you blossom wildly in this summer that is your season. As babes, we invite you to follow the brightness, this flame of insight. As adults, we invite you to pass your lives through the fire of thought, to know that you need to have an ethical conscience to determine what is right and wrong, and feel called to accountability for your life and your choices. And air. May you always know the holiness of the breath of life within you. May you honor the miracle of your life by savoring it, by experiencing joy, and by treating it as the miracle that you have been gifted. Now you're going to have to figure out what to do. I give you each this rose, blooming and with thorns, many thorns, because we know that you're safe enough to handle the challenges and pricks of life. But I invite you to recognize you need to hold your life with intentionality like you hold this stem. Thank you for allowing us to witness how you've bloomed in these years you have been with us. And I'm going to invite your families to come up and be with you. Maybe families, you could stand behind your adults. And families include families, they're not just parents. And I'm going to invite the youth who have been part of Eli and Jonah's journey to come on up and put a hand on their elbow or shoulder. Yep. And I'm going to invite those of you who have been, fill in this way, my friends. You're going to do a little hand, right? Or hand on someone touching them. We're going to make an interconnected web, literally. And I'm going to invite those of you who are in our RE community, who've been teachers.
Jonah needs some hands on his shoulders.
Or on the committee,
Needs
or
a
the
strong
youth
word.
advisors to come on up.
It is, but you need it.
And we're going to extend this way, my friends, too. So, come on up. Anyone who's been part of the journey. And then I'm going to invite, we want to stretch this way, my friends. Yes, stretch this way. This is why you're moving into this space.
Come on, guys.
And I'm going to invite the congregation to stand and connect to someone who's connected to Lisa. And so you want to put a hand on the shoulder of someone
Unlike the
who's
Avatar.
in front of you, and if you're up on the
show.
Well, I'm the one in the middle, so I'm the avatar.
But you know, like the fire and the water. Not the movie with the blue people, like the show.
Oh, like Legends of Shima.
No, that's not Avatar. No.
Oh, but like Fire and Ice, you know?
No, I
And if
guess.
you're online, I invite you to put your raise hand icon up or turn your screen on. Let's be engaged in this blessing. Every once in a while, we get to actually see the interdependent web of life of which we are a part. Here it is. And at this moment, you are at the center of it because you have important things to do, and we want you to be prepared. Know that you are already enough, more than enough to face what comes. Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined. I invite you to breathe in the fullness of possibility. We know life can be hard. It can and has rocked all of our worlds. There are times when you will try your best and you will fail. You will lose someone you love. You will feel confused and lost. All of us have. We are here to speak to that person. Know that you do not need to be enough. This is the web of life and connection holding you up, refusing to let you fall too far. We will never truly let you go, and with us you will never hit rock bottom. Breathe that in. We know you each have been given gifts, and these gifts are needed in this world. So we sent you forth to carry forth our shared faith and be the blessing that you are. You are the gift. Breathe that in. And so we bridge you into adulthood, which beautifully means joining our young souls who are going to give you yeah, there they are. So go from this community here into the communities you will now join, full of the spirit of life and love. In congregation, I invite you to extend your hands to the middle of the aisle to send them through. May you go forth with our blessings. Amen.